And like I said, the fenders were all cut out. Hole in the hood was huge. The rear fenders, I completely reworked them so they're round. Most of the resorters are kind of squared off. I think that's just the way they come out of the mold, but I thought it'd look better rounded out. Because they'd cut the fenders so high. They'd cut them all the way up into here, both front and rear. They had a hole in the back for a Weber to stick through. So we did glass that back up. I glassed up all the holes they made. I shaved off the perches for the lights because they were cracked out. And I had no idea what it was when I got it. I just knew that it had low sills and a 77-year-old guy could climb in and out of it easy. So I started building it, and a couple people from the club contacted me and said, hey, you got to think about what you're doing to the body. So I was putting holes in the back for the cage to go through. That's not a good thing to do for a resorter. So I just continued on with the way I was going, and it slowly evolved to getting something nicer and nicer, but now it is where it is. I would have done things a little different if I'd have known their rarity, but I kind of like it the way it came out, you know.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And you bought it, you found it in the backyard.
Yeah, that's what it looked like down there in the bottom when I got it. That little board. Pretty, at least the top was there. And you know, it had a pan there that was pretty rough shape. So I put a body lift on it. That's something you don't usually see on the resorters. I put a body lift on it. To hide that, I put the rock slider so you wouldn't damage the body there.
It's beautiful. It just kind of looks like a resorter on steroids.
Yeah, I wanted something that was off-roady, so he's taken it to Pismo a few times and kind of bounced around with it pretty good, and it does okay. It's got a little 1600 in there. So.
Did you was your dad surprised, or was he in on the whole project the whole way?
He was in on it from the time I picked it up. Yeah, he definitely. He didn't really do a lot. I mean, as far as work on it, but he kind of guided me along the way. It changed colors about 7 times before we finally got this color. Never painted it, but I shot out 7 or 8 different colors for him to look at. And so we kind of. This looks like Revlon red lipstick to me. I have a buddy that has a powder coat place, and he powder coated the cage. I made it all bolt together as far as the cage goes, so it penetrates here and goes across underneath and connects it. It's got the the bungs to where you can take it all apart.
Yeah.
And this underneath the seat here, there's another connection that's sleeved into a lower piece of tube. I had to make that panel there so that it accommodate the body lift and reach the floor again. But yeah, the cage can completely come out. The body comes all the way apart. That way everything was powder coated. And
now I know that these cars these tubs weren't made for IRS.
The original resorter would have probably accommodated an IRS, but the regular Manx, they usually have a wheel well and the tire cut out. So this thing really is basically the way it was. The only thing I did is extended the floor like the 3 inches. So I think it would have cleared the IRS chassis with.
That was good. Yeah, that was good. That's where I was leading towards in my question about the battery box. I had to cut mine when I set it on an IRS.
Yeah.
Pan.
This one was squared off. There was no tubs or anything back there for the battery or anything. So originally in the back, the little storage compartment, there's a little battery tray right here behind the seat. I've got a bunch of trash in there, or not trash, but just tools and towels. But the original battery box has a little well right here in the bottom. That's the only cutout originally that they had. So I left it, but I put the battery underneath because I had my newfound room with all the body lift. So the hardest thing was to get all these tubes to come out of the body and still be able to put them together. Yeah, Cadet digs it.
It's beautiful. Very nice. And one of 75.
Yeah, that's the number now. I think the new guys from Manx, they've come out with a new car, and I think they may have popped a couple off an old mold they had. I know there was a couple new cars that showed up lately, so yeah, I think it's one of 75 originals.
Wow, it's spectacular. Thanks for showing it to me.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Robert.